Trump threatening to designate Antifa as a terrorist organization, tweeting over the weekend, quote, consideration is being given to declaring Antifa the gutless radical left whack jobs who go around hitting only non-fighters, people over the heads with baseball bats. A major organization of terror, along with MS-13 and others, would make it easier for police to do their jobs. Last month, conservative journalist Andy Ngo was assaulted by Antifa members in Portland. No charges have yet been filed against his attackers. Earlier today, Ngo said President Trump is correct to consider and to indeed designate the group as a terrorist organization.
This will provide a framework for local authorities and especially federal authorities to start investigating this criminal cartel for the street thugs that they are. But in addition to the street hooliganism that we see over and over on the streets of America, this movement also has a political ideology that is agitating for a violent political revolution.
And we would like to hear from you on this issue. Be sure to vote in our poll tonight. Do you think President Trump should designate Antifa as a terrorist organization? Cast your vote on Twitter at Lou Dobbs. My next guest represents Andy Ngo, the victim of that violent Antifa attack in Portland, Oregon, back in June. Joining us tonight is Harmeet Dillon, Vice President of the Republican National Lawyers Association, RNC Committeewoman for California, member of the 2020 Trump Advisory Council, and great to have you with us. Harmeet.
Thanks, Lou.
Antifa. Well, first of all, where do we stand with your client? Where do you stand in getting justice for him?
Well, Lou, what is fortunate in a way about the attack on Andy is that there were a number of videographers and photographers around who've been providing information to us. So we provided all of that information actually to the state authorities, as well as names and IDs of people who were involved in these attacks. Almost a month later, we've had no arrests. So that's very concerning to me. But another way that this is fortunate is that it's actually brought attention to a movement, Lou, that's been growing in America for several years, and most Americans don't know about it. But they better know about it because these people are organizing, recruiting, and planning to disrupt our elections in 2020.
Planning to do so. And, let me ask you this. Why do we even permit people to go around with masks and to commit these violent acts? How is it that the Justice Department isn't assuring civil rights, the rights of Andy Ngo and others who've been brutalized by a gang of thugs?
Lou, the question that you just asked is the question that people were asking during the civil rights movement when the Klan were the ones who were going around with the masks, and we tried to have laws and stop them from doing that. But today, the American Civil Liberties Union is the group that's actually agitating against these anti-mask laws. They got the California anti-mask law kicked out, and now California has a watered-down version that says that you can't commit a crime while wearing a mask. Well, I mean, that doesn't really help law enforcement unmask people during the commission of these events. It simply adds an enhancement. So I think that we are using old tools and old methods, and we're not catching up with the current political reality, which is we have a number of people in America, including these people who have no respect for our laws, who are anarchists / Marxists / Maoists, and really want to overthrow our government. And they're seizing on whatever the flavor of the day is. A few years ago, it was Black Lives Matter. A few years ago, before that, it was Occupy Wall Street. Today, it's so-called border resistance. And they're actually going to be organizing in Texas and other border states as well. So America better wake up to this. Now, federal law enforcement would give the Department of Justice as well as FBI and law enforcement authorities.
Why doesn't the Justice Department wake up to this? Okay, because that's the real issue here. They have the power, the jurisdiction, the responsibility to make certain that police departments in every community are protecting their citizenry and doing so according to law.
They should be doing that, Lou. I have called the Department of Justice, and all I can say is I completely agree with you that where local authorities have failed, and even where they haven't failed but they need more help, it is the job of the Civil Rights Division, it is the job of the Criminal Division to step in and help. So maybe they are doing something that you and I don't know about, but we sure would love to see some action because Antifa has numerous events planned in the Pacific Northwest and other parts in the country over the next 2 months. So they have a lot of opportunities to get in there, infiltrate, find out what's happening, and then use some law enforcement tools to use cell phone dumps and other tools that federal authorities have that can help us arrest these people.
Harmeet Dillon, as always, great to have you with us. We thank you and
Thank you,
wish you much success. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Harmeet Dillon. We'll be right back with much more. Stay with us.